Welcome back to Thai PBS World. I'm Frank Han Shi. A tighter cooperation has fostered more opportunities between two economies as Thailand has signed the EU-Thailand Partnership Cooperation Agreement to bolster future projects such as visa exemptions and free trade agreement. Joining me now is the Ambassador of European Union to Thailand, David Daly. Great to have you on the show, the Ambassador.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining me. So I think the PCA is very important for EU and Thailand. What is the most important aspect there inside this agreement?
Well, the first thing I would say is that for the European Union, we view Thailand as an important country in an important region. And that's why we have negotiated and signed the Partnership and Cooperation Agreement. The PCA represents a number of things. Firstly, it is an international treaty between the European Union and Thailand, and we are very appreciative that it has been ratified by the Thai Parliament recently. As such, of course, it fits into the European Union's Indo-Pacific strategy, which deals with the region more broadly. Second thing it represents is a reaffirmation of common values which the European Union and Thailand have. Values of support to the UN, values such as support on issues like weapons of mass destruction, non-proliferation, the climate challenges, and so on. These are important rights, democracy, human rights. These are important to reaffirm. And this is one of the things that the PCA does. The PCA also represents a commitment by the European Union and Thailand to work together more on various issues. There are issues that we have to deal with at a bilateral level between the EU and Thailand, trade issues, IUU, other issues, cooperation, different areas. There are also issues that we want to talk to Thailand about that are regional in nature, whether they are regional security issues like with Myanmar or issues within ASEAN. The European Union is a very strong partner of ASEAN. We have our strategic partnership. We're working towards a comprehensive strategic partnership. It's very important for us to have a dialogue with Thailand on EU-ASEAN issues. Thailand is an important member of ASEAN and has been very supportive down through the years of the EU ambitions within ASEAN. Then there are global issues, international security issues, climate change, sustainable development. On these global issues as well, we want to work more closely with Thailand. So this is what the PCA represents. Now, in practical terms, the PCA is another tool in our toolbox in terms of relations between Thailand and the European Union. And the PCA gives us a structured, comprehensive framework for regular senior discussions across a range of different issues. And we believe that this is important to put our top experts together on the different issues, to discuss challenges, to explore solutions, to exchange ideas in both directions. This is very powerful for strengthening our overall relationship. So it is a tool which is very important. It will be headed by a joint committee, which will have the overview of all of the relations. But then there will be specific working groups on different areas as well for looking at those areas in more detail. So this is the PCA in a nutshell. And why do we do it? Because Thailand is an important country in an important region for us.
So you talk about a lot of important aspects there: human rights, climate change, security issue. trade, international cooperation, and this is all this aspect and the facade that EU and Thailand can work together. Given that your experience and your professional observation in Thailand for 3 years, I just want to understand, do you think which aspect has Thailand improved the most since you joined, since you came to Thailand?
Well, it's not for me to judge Thailand in areas where it is improving or not. But a couple of important things.
Yeah.
We see Thailand as expressing and reaffirming a strong commitment to the international rules-based system. This is important for all of us. We see Thailand very active in the area of climate change, examining how to do things better. For example, Thailand has a voluntary carbon trading system. There is an idea to strengthen that and so on. This is an area where the European Union is very strong with our carbon trading system. We see Thailand over the recent years becoming stronger and stronger in the area of sustainable development, taking measures within Thailand, the bio-circular green economy and the sufficiency economy ideas. In that context, we are very happy that Thailand co-chairs with the European Union the EU-ASEAN Sustainable Development high-level dialogue. So that has been a strong area for Thailand as well. We've also seen Thailand make very important improvements in the management of its fisheries sector, which is very important in combating the illegal, unregulated and unreporting of fisheries, which is a serious regional and global issue. So there are many areas where Thailand is doing very well. The PCA will help us to explore those areas and also to explore other areas.
Yeah, definitely. So, of course, as what you said, carbon trade, fishery industry, that Thailand have put more focus on to show the world that Thailand has the capability to approve themselves in terms of international cooperation. One more perspective aspect is that free trade agreement that Thailand's government and of course Thai people are looking forward to seeing that happening in the near future. So how about the progress right now?
Before speaking about the negotiations themselves, I want to say that the economic relationship between the European Union and Thailand is already very strong. Our trade in goods and services is about €1 billion a week. €1 billion a week. That's not small. The European Union, in a sector that's very important for Thailand, tourism, the European Union ranks third as the source of tourists to Thailand, after Chinese and Malaysian tourists. We are the fourth important trading partner of Thailand, and we rank third in terms of foreign investment in Thailand, supporting around 160,000 jobs. So the economic relationship is already very good, but we want to do more. We want to do better than that. And we see the negotiation of an FTA as a very important tool in order for us to increase trade and increase the investment. Now, how are the negotiations going? They're going well. We have had 3 rounds of negotiations, and next month we will have the 4th round of negotiations taking place here in Bangkok. The report I get from our negotiators is that the Thai delegation is very well prepared, is very well engaged, and we have been very pleased with the progress made on the issues on the table so far. I suppose it's normal in these negotiations that the more you go into the detail of the negotiation, the harder the issues get. But for what we've done so far, it's going very well. We're very pleased with the progress.
Right. So you talk about, of course, the foreign direct investment and tourism that EU actually is a major source for Thailand. And you talk about the negotiations part there, which Thailand has been prepared well to talk about the negotiations on the table with EU officials. Another, of course, you already talk about tourism. This is one of the part that maybe for Thai people on the ground, they want to see, is there any possibility if we go to EU, we don't have to apply for visa? One of the important topic is Schengen visa exemptions. Of course, I talked to other ambassadors in EU too. They are looking forward to supporting this idea. So how about from your side?
Yeah. Well, the first thing I would say is that this is a very legitimate question which Thailand raises with us. Already today, with the new visa regime that we adopted some time ago, the new visa code, Thai visitors to the European Union benefit from the easier multi-entry visas which are available. This is already something benefiting Thai tourists. The question of reviewing the visa exemption list, this is something which the European Commission does every so often. It reviews the list, it looks at requests such as from Thailand, from other countries, it looks at the global situation, and then it presents its results to the member states in the Council, and sitting around the Council table, the 27 member states, they decide on extending the list or restricting the list, whatever it is. Now, for the moment, the European Commission is preoccupied with the full implementation and rollout of our new European Travel Information and Authorization System, which is something new which will facilitate the issuance of visas across the Schengen area. And that is the priority for right now. So although there is no specific date in mind for the next review of the Schengen list, I think the Commission's priority for right now is to complete the successful rollout of that system. However, whenever the next review will be, I'm sure that the Thai request will be looked at fully on its merits, and we will see how that will result.
Do you have any information about when the next review will take place, or?
The short answer to that is not really. It depends on the implementation of this other system. I mean, will it be engaged in the course of next year? I don't know, and I cannot promise anything.
Yeah.
It's not in my hands.
Yes. Of course, in these past 3 years, you're in Thailand. Just want to push a little bit on this too. Like, because of course Thailand has raised this visa exemption for EU, for Schengen region for a few years. So what's the concern inside your organization about the Schengen visa at this moment? Is there any way to expedite the visa exemption?
Well, in terms of concerns, there are the usual sorts of concerns when looking at countries for visa exemption. list. The question of, do people, visitors from a particular country, do they overstay their visas? Do they do this? Do they do that? There's a whole range of technical issues that my colleagues in Brussels will look into. I think there's nothing for Thailand to do in preparation except to ensure that when Thai visitors come to Europe, they get their visas. Hopefully, and I'm sure that they all will comply with their visa requirements and so on, and in that way build up a good track record of not having Thai visitors overstaying the visa and so on, and having to get sorted out. So keep up good work and good behavior, and I'm sure that will be helpful.
Yeah, key point. Build up good track record and trust when you go to travel in EU. Apply to your EU visa. Next question, of course, we have to talk about your cooperation with Thailand's government. Of course, the Prime Minister Paetongtarn Shinawatra already delivered a policy statement since she joined the government. So just want to understand how much of this policy statement align with EU values.
Well, the first thing to say is that the European Union has congratulated Prime Minister Paetongtarn on her appointment, and we look forward very much to working closely with her and her government. I think we see a large degree of common ground between various priorities which she and her government have, and the European Union priorities. In her recent policy statement, there were two aspects that I would pick out. One is on climate change, where she put a particular emphasis on reducing greenhouse gas emissions and on looking at carbon pricing. These are certainly important areas for the European Union as well, and areas where we can work together. She also mentioned the free trade agreements, and embedded in the free trade agreements, of course, is a whole series of economic reforms to liberalize the economy in certain ways. And obviously, that is an important part of the EU-Thailand agenda with the negotiation of our FTA. I read her remarks at the Asia Cooperation Dialogue Summit in Doha, where she spoke about the situation in the Middle East. And this is, of course, a major concern for the European Union as well. We support the peace plan proposed by France and the United States, and we encourage all sides to sign up to that plan as a way of trying to restore peace to that region. If I broaden the question, looking at the speech last week, I think at the UN General Assembly by Foreign Minister Marit, again we see a lot of issues where there is a lot of common ground with the European Union. I mean, he spoke about support for a rules-based international system with the UN at its core. The EU is a very strong supporter of that. He spoke about disarmament and non-proliferation, again a very important area. He spoke about how deeply concerned Thailand is about the increased armed conflicts in Ukraine and other parts of the world, including in Gaza, speaking about these situations having far-reaching implications for small states. We fully agree with that. And pointing to the direction that it is incumbent on us all to find peaceful solutions that respect the UN Charter and human rights. Again, a very strong overlap with the European Union priorities. There are issues like Myanmar, which is such an important issue for Thailand as a direct neighbour, but also for ASEAN, as Myanmar is a member of ASEAN. And of course, the European Union is also very concerned, and we are very ready to become more involved. And we see that Thailand is working to support the ASEAN 5-point consensus. The European Union, as part of the international community, we also support that and want to be very involved in helping towards a solution. You may know that the European Union, together with its member states, we provide around half of all the humanitarian assistance that is given globally. We're the largest donor globally of humanitarian assistance, which means that we always have an interest in seeing where and how can we help. So this is something to work with. And there were other issues as well mentioned at the UN, the SDGs. The minister mentioned the SDGs localization. In fact, this is a project that we're working on with Thailand already. We're supporting the localization of SDGs across 15 provinces of Thailand, helping to ensure at a ground level that the local development plans are themselves consistent with and supporting specific SDGs. So when you look at all of this together, you look at the Prime Minister's speech, you look at different statements, you look at speeches in the UN, you see a huge common ground of issues between the European Union and Thailand. And we, of course, this is what we're already working on, but this is what we want to do even more strongly moving forward.
Yeah, you talk about a lot of very important aspects there, SDG initiative to localize in Thailand. Whether it's regional security in Myanmar, in Middle East, or international trade cooperation between two sides, two economies, Thailand and European Union, are very important, very significant for both sides. One of the important values of European Union is democratic value. So how do you see Thailand's democratic development in terms of political stability, or some people say that instability?
Well, both the European Union and Thailand, we subscribe to the same democratic principles and respect for human rights and so on, the UN, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights and all of this. We must remember that respecting these values, this is challenging for all of us, everywhere, all the time. Whether it's in Europe or whether it's in Thailand or elsewhere, it is always a challenge to respect and better respect human rights, for example. In the PCA, this is one of the important areas that we will certainly work together on. Democracy, rule of law, human rights. We look forward to that engagement. We were able to sign the PCA 2 years ago precisely because Thailand has been making important progress on the path back towards democracy following the coup in 2014. And these steps of progress have been recognized by the European Union in the further development of our bilateral relations. And you see that through the signing of the PCA. You also see that through the relaunching of the FTA negotiations. So this is part of a process of progress. It's normal in any process that sometimes processes are messy. Sometimes there are setbacks on the way. But we have every confidence that this process back towards democracy will continue in Thailand. And we very much want to engage with the Thai government on those sorts of issues. So we're confident about continued progress. We want to engage, and we will engage.
So to your point, more engagement in the future.
Which is the running theme of the Partnership and Cooperation Agreement.
Yes, nobody set back. In the future, we will see more engagement between European Union and Thailand, no matter on each issue we talk about in this interview. So thank you for your time. This is the Ambassador of European Union to Thailand, His Excellency David Daly. Thank you.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you. More news to come.